Okay, so number 20, using the quadratic formula. What do I need to do to that equation first before I can use the quadratic formula? Gotta set it equal to 0, so what do I do, as you just said? Add the 2x. And so my new equation is... Yeah, very good. 3x squared plus 2x minus 2. Okay, so now that we've got that, what do we want to identify? A, B, and C. So what is A? 3. What's B?
2.
And what is C? Very good. Okay, so now we gotta put it into this quadratic formula that we see up there. So I write everything out without with parentheses. And so it's very important to, I just put parentheses around all the letters at first, right? Because, okay, so make sure you put parentheses around all your variables. So I just start out with that. So negative parentheses plus or minus square root of, geez Louise, okay. Parentheses squared minus 4 times parentheses over 2 times parentheses. Okay, so let's fill in the parentheses now. What goes in the very first one? 2. That's the B. What goes in the next one?
2.
And then the one after that? 3. And then the last one? -2. And then the bottom? 3. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to simplify this until we get an answer. So we got x equals... What does x equal here? -2 plus or minus of 4. And what's -4 times 3 times -2? Positive 24 plus 24 over 6. Okay. All right, what do you do after you've gotten this far? Solve inside the square root. So now I'm going to have x equals -2 plus or minus square root of what's 4 plus 24? 28 over 6. Good. All right, what do I do after I've solved inside the square roots? Simplify the square root, right, if you can. So we can break it down a little bit. X equals -2 plus or minus. What does the square root of 28 break down into? 7 times 4, right? So we'll put square root of 4 times square root of 7 over 6, right? Okay, and then boom. So now the next step here is to simplify that square root of 4. So we got x equals -2 plus or minus, what's the square root of 4? 2. So now we have 2 square roots of 7 because the square root of 4 turned into the 2. The square root of 7 is still there, over 6. And now there's just one last step here. What is that? Wait. You can't divide by 6, but all these terms can be divided by 2. So you divide all the terms by 2. You don't deal with that. That's just like that's like something you can't touch. You're only dealing with a number outside the square root of 7. Yeah. Reduced by 2. And so that means your final answer would be x equals -1. Right, 1 square root of 7 is just square root of 7, right? Over 3. Like that. And that's your answer. Yay.